Hi, this is an overview of PaperSave's Accounts Payable Invoice Automation module. This module consists of optical character recognition and auto entry into Dynamics GP. The first step of any process is getting the documents into the system. If you're familiar with PaperSave, there are a lot of ways to get the documents in. I'm going to go actually into my workflow. I'm going to click on this new button and I'm going to just drag and drop some of the documents in. If you're using PaperSave to monitor an email address, this process is going to stay the same, and you'll see what happens on these documents will happen with an email monitored document as well as the ability to scan the documents. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to drag and drop a handful of documents into my workflow. All right, I think that's about 10 or 11. And we're going to take that into the workflow. Now, at this step, you're going to see a column here that says status. This is PaperSave's status of each of the documents going through the OCR module. OCR is that optical character recognition. We're going to start populating the values over here in these fields that are normally manually keyed in. And then we'll start pulling some defaults from the vendor card as well, if you have those things like terms or default GL distributions. On average, it takes an individual about 30 to 60 seconds to manually key in an invoice. And with that comes time taken away from what they normally do. Oops, let's go back over here, as well as errors that can occur. But what you'll start seeing is PaperSave is going to start populating these fields. On average, it takes PaperSave to do these 11 or 10 invoices less than a minute to populate all of those fields. At that point, once all of the data is entered in, and you can see the columns here have been populated over even to due date, and we're going to go ahead and submit these into the workflow. So again, if you have PaperSave monitoring an email address, or you're scanning the documents, that process is going to happen on those documents as well. Once they're in the first step of your workflow, mine happens to be validation, the process is exactly the same. You route it to the approver, right? But what you'll see again, all of this data is populated. And I'm just going to go ahead and route a few of these over to my approvers. Once those documents are approved by the appropriate individual or individuals based on your workflow, they're going to end up here at the last step of your workflow. My last step is called AP review. This is where you would normally or typically start your side-by-side data entry and do that manual keying into GP. Again, you will not have to do this because PaperSave has populated all of this information. The document has went through the workflow. And now at this point, all somebody has to do is hit the button to say submit. This is the auto entry, the creation of the transaction inside of GP, eliminating all of that, again, manual data entry, errors that could occur while the data entry is happening, and it's real-time integration. So let's go ahead and do this ResNet as the last one and see what happened inside of GP. Let's close this and open up. That's one I did before. Let's go ahead and open up this here. And if I come down to my bottom here and go over here, here's personal concepts that was just created. And as I look at the time stamp of that, you'll see that it is 8:43. So it's real time into GP. There's no sync, there's no upload, there's no import. It's all real time creating that transaction. So what does that do for you? For the individual who manually keys that data, it's going to free up a lot of their time to do some more important things like vendor negotiations for terms and conditions, maybe, or maybe for discounts, things like that. But the other thing that it does inside of PaperSave is it's going to give you valuable dashboard information. Because we know the vendor, because we know the invoice date, because we know the invoice dollar amount, and we know also who needs to approve it and when, PaperSave takes that data and gives you this dashboard that lets you know what your expenses are over the next month, broken down by time frame. I can also toggle over here and I can see who has what in their workload, always having the ability to drill down into that data and then take action, like maybe redirect these invoices or send an email out to the individual. But this information is there and available to you because of the AP invoice automation module. I hope this was beneficial. If you have any questions or would like to see more in-depth demo, please reach out to us and we can schedule one-on-one time. Thank you and have a great day.